This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, November 8th, 2006, and this is episode number 176 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hodgeberg from MGMstudios.org. On the show today is Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com. Welcome, Mike.
Brava Centauri, newest of the exciting Centauri series of space stations, offers remarkably rewarding opportunities in Earth support vocations. Come up to Brava. Space shuttles depart daily.
Now,
what was that? Horizons?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
And for me.
The real question for Len Testa, who is the co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World, is, Len, how is your throwing arm? Can you take over for Roethlisberger?
At this point, I'm not sure that I could do worse than many members of the team.
Can you play special teams and not fumble the ball?
Yeah, not fumble the ball, exactly. I'm willing for what Santonio is making. I'm willing to sacrifice my body for that.
And your girlish.
I mean, let's face it. I was sacrificing it for a whole lot less over here. So what the heck? Oh, that was painful. God.
And the inspiration for that movie, what is it? Invincible. Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio.
Cocoon.
I have no idea what that means.
That would have been Scopa, actually.
I was going to say, yeah. That's
well, okay, all right.
I'm taking it as an insult, but I have no idea what that means.
No, I thought he was going to Scopa. Yeah, whatever.
Where's the car crash, Noel?
Oh, wait a minute. I got that.
There we go. Well, it's Wednesday, and we're answering your listener questions, and our first question is from Debbie McNeil, who writes, Universal Studios Orlando recently eliminated their version of free Fast Pass. Resort guests still get front-of-the-line access all day, or you can buy an Express Plus Pass. Do you think similar changes will be coming to Walt Disney World? I'm guessing yes, but I would really like to know your thoughts on the matter.
I guess I don't think that there will be a charge. I do think that there will be a differential, let's put it that way, between certain guests as to what kind of Fast Pass are available to them, but I think that's a little bit down the road, probably depending upon where you're staying maybe on property.
I agree. I think that you will see some differentiated Fast Pass. I thought it would have happened by now, personally, but I would say in the next couple of years you'll see it, and it'll be something like. Well, you guys have been in the media events, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I give you my Magic Fast Pass during one of the media events?
We did it last.
That's right.
May of 2005, I think we did it when. Yeah.
That's right. So I had this Fast Pass for media events. Disney gives you this blank credit card like card, and you insert it into a Fast Pass machine, and out pops as many Fast Passes as you want, and they're good for that actual time. So I think in Epcot, I was just getting 8 or 9 Fast Passes at a time for Soarin', and I was riding over and over and over again. And Scopa was with me, and Scopa was riding. Were you with Mike?
Yeah, we were with Mike.
Right?
And Len, wasn't that the time also you were able to use your key card also as a way to get another Fast Pass?
That's right. Yeah. So I was just Fast Pass happy that entire time. So usually what happens during these media events is I get tired of writing stuff and I just give the Magic Fast Pass card to someone. But the point is that Disney's already made changes to the system, to the Fast Pass system, to do these things. I think they're just waiting for things like digital TV to come to all of the rooms in the resorts before they roll out things like Fast Pass reservations for Disney Resort guests and things like that.
Great. Our next email is from Terry Mann of Nashville, Tennessee, who writes, Hi, guys. Greetings from Nashville, Tennessee. Love your podcast. I'm a devoted listener. Quick comment. Thanks for telling us all about the Dole Whip. My wife and I would have tried anything flavored with pineapple if we hadn't heard y'all rave about them. We went to Disneyland last week, and we were thrilled to see a Dole stand. When we walked out of the Tiki Room, immediately remembered what you had said about them on the shows. By the way, the classic Tiki show they kept in Anaheim beats the hell out of the new show in Orlando. Y'all were right about the Dole Whips. They're delicious. Now we need to start a campaign to get Dole to sell them in grocery stores nationwide. My question is, with Disneyland behind us, we're now planning our next Walt Disney World trip. We love the cheeseburgers at Cosmic Rays. Is there anything, anywhere in Walt Disney World, including the resorts in downtown Disney, where you can get a better cheeseburger than the one at Cosmic Rays.
Peaches and cream.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Concourse Steakhouse, but okay.
I was going to say the Electric Umbrella.
Really?
Yeah, I love that.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I love it there.
You get a real good.
Evidently, Len doesn't agree.
I guess not.
No, I mean, I don't. I've only had the sandwiches there, so I haven't had a burger in the Electric Umbrella for many years.
Let me throw in another place. There's a place where, well, actually, Len, I checked it out for you guys. It's called The Fountain in the Swan, I believe, and they have some very good burgers there too.
Yeah, that wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
I'm
going to go with Concourse Steakhouse.
I think anywhere with a Fixin's bar in the park, you really can't go wrong with.
Did they get rid of the cheese sauce? I heard of the Fixin' bars.
Yeah, I heard that it went to behind the counter.
That's a constitutional right, isn't it? Life, liberty, cheese sauce, the pursuit of happiness.
Nice one.
Frankly, I'm shocked.
We have a question from Steve Medina, who writes, "Hey guys, it's Steve from Miami. I'd love to call you on your live show, but my wife Sylvia won't let me because she says that I'm a dork. But as usual, it's great hearing from you guys on Sunday evening. I'm also having a tough time talking to her and my niece Ivana into going to Epcot for all the Christmas festivities. They seem to think it's not as cool as Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Tell them they're wrong."
Oh!
I've had the pleasure of meeting Steve and Sylvia. And Sylvia, come on now, let Steve call us, and you can call us too. I think that. Wow, it goes without saying how I feel about the Christmas decorations at Epcot. So.
I would much rather spend a night at Epcot than I would at Mickey's Mickey's Very Merry. Oh, by a factor of like a bajillion.
All right. Our next email is from Dan Scott of Winter Park, Florida, who writes, "Hey guys, I was wondering if you knew if there was a Disney Channel that still played the classic Disney programs like the ones Walt himself hosted. I remember watching the original Mickey Mouse Club as well as the Wonderful World of Disney late at night, both at the Disney resorts and at... Is something funny, Len?
It's called YouTube.
There you go, Dan.
Oh, Lord. Sorry, go ahead.
That was the question. I mean, you know.
Wasn't there some talk about putting together a second Disney channel?
Disney channel, yeah.
It was going to be called the Disney Vault.
Vault Disney
or something.
Right,
like
and every once in a while they'll do them, and I have laser discs of all the Mickey Mouse black and whites.
Laser discs? Was the Betamax version not available?
Is what?
Was the Betamax version not available?
I still have my laser disc
actually,
too.
like on the the size of like the discs are like the size of dinner plates, and I actually have a laser disc player that I bought on eBay for like $25 just to play them on. Because in my spare time I was gonna write a book on Mickey Mouse cartoons. You know, my spare time.
Cool. Spare time, all that spare time that you got.
All my spare time, exactly. The 6 hours of sleep that I'm getting now apparently is way too much. So I was gonna do a thing on study the films of Mickey Mouse. Anyway.
Our next email is from Scott in Fairfield, Ohio, who writes, "Hey guys, love the show. Quick question. I recently took advantage of the early February package offer that gives us the park hopping and water parks and more option for free. I'm not familiar with water parks and more option. What all will that get us into, and are there any restrictions associated with it? Keep up the great work, and remember Narcoossee's may be 2 dining plan credits, but the divorce lawyer associated with that is much more expensive."
So how many people are going to actually want to go into the water parks in January and February? Yeah.
I've been in February. It's painful.
Yeah.
Well, I never wanted to go, so I went, though. I mean...
the water parks and more, what is that? That gets you, obviously, admission into the water parks.
Yeah, you get the water parks, you get...
And more.
And more.
You get Pleasure Island, you get Disney Quest for as long as it's there.
It's probably going to be closed by February. That's why they were offering it.
And what else? Pleasure Island.
Miniature
Disney
golf?
Quest.
Do you get miniature golf with that?
I don't think you get
thinking
miniature
that,
golf.
too.
That would be way cool if you did. I think that's it.
Great. Darren Johnson of Aurora, Illinois, writes to us, "Hey all, first off, great podcast. My wife and 2 children, boys aged 2 and 5, are Disney Vacation Club members." Those are young Disney Vacation Club members.
Wow, they must be rich too.
And frequent Walt Disney World visitors. We will be vacationing in Orlando from December 27th through January 1st. However, since we used up all of our current Disney Vacation Club points on Grand Gathering this past March, 16 people, yikes. We are staying off-property, Renaissance SeaWorld, and visiting both SeaWorld, which we have been to many times, and Busch Gardens, which we have never visited. Of course, we will need a bit of a Disney fix, so we are planning at least one day in the parks. We want to hit the Play and Dine at Hollywood and Vine at MGM. My boys love both JoJo and Little Einsteins. And still hit both Pirates and Buzz Lightyear at the Magic Kingdom.
Wow.
Here's my one-day strategy to hit both parks. Book a character breakfast at MGM to hit the Playhouse Disney characters. Spend the afternoon at the Magic Kingdom following the afternoon portion of Len's one-day touring plan for small children. Hits both Pirates and Buzz. We are at Disney once or twice a year, so we don't need to hit everything. 2 concerns and questions. First, of the days we'll be in Orlando, what is the best day to try this? It appears December 30th, according to the unofficial guide in touringplans.com.
Oh, yeah.
Best day for Magic Kingdom and the studios between December 27th and January 1st.
It's more day of the week than the actual date, right, Lynn?
Yeah, either the Tuesday or the Tuesday's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday.
Wednesday, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either Tuesday or Wednesday. If you're going to start in the studios, that'd be fine, and then head over to the Magic Kingdom.
Darren, just make sure you get the first reservation for Hollywood and Vine for that is 8 a.m. and I would recommend that you do that based on the fact that you want to get as much done. Get MGM.
Is it gonna be 8 a.m. if the park opens at 8 and it's extra magic hour?
Ooh, good question. I've only.
Or would it be earlier than that? Might want to call up and ask the specific question. But I don't think you'll have any trouble getting to the Magic Kingdom on Tuesday the 30th because Tuesday's traditionally a slow day.
Well, Darren's other question is, does anyone know how likely it is the Magic Kingdom would fill up in the afternoon? And we could always get locked out given the crowds at the time of year. We almost always stay on Disney property, so I'm not familiar with the likelihood of this. I would hate to plan an afternoon at the Magic Kingdom only to be locked out. Ideally,
by 11 o'clock, you're okay. If you get there by 11:30.
But anything after that?
Then it starts to get iffy. I mean, by 2 o'clock, yeah, that's not going to be good.
All right. Next email is from Kim Stantis in Madison, Wisconsin, who writes, I visited Walt Disney World in late May of this year and rode Splash Mountain several times. I noticed that the water cannon has not been working, and there was no big splash effect on the pavement out front. I haven't been to Walt Disney World since 1999, so I was just wondering, is the cannon permanently off, or is it just broken? I think it was just broken.
Well, okay, well, I was there in April. It was okay. It depends. They've toned down when it gets cold. They tone down the cannon that goes over the little mine shack. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're talking about the one that goes over the bridge.
Yeah, she's talking about the one that kind of splashes
the
people.
No, I think that just annoys the people. Yeah, no. I think that's why they turned it off though.
Leo Krasnahill of Monroe Township, New Jersey writes, I love your podcast. I just got back from Walt Disney World. While in line for Buzz Lightyear, the family in front of us in the Fast Pass line flashed a red ticket to the cast member at the merge point instead of handing them a Fast Pass. What is this magical red Fast Pass, and how can I get one? I think he's talking about the those little time card things that measure, the wait time.
Yeah, those are white though. All the ones that I've seen.
No, they're red.
The ones I've seen are white.
Okay, maybe white one.
I think one side is white, like there's nothing on the back side of it, and then
that's what it must be. Let's both be right.
Did they flash it or did they hand it to him?
Well, he wrote flashed. I don't know.
Hand it to you on like a little lanyard or whatever.
Right, it's a string.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if that is what we're talking about, then
like,
all it is it just measures. It's random, and you just get one, and all it does is just tell Disney how long you waited in line, so they can adjust the time out in front to tell you what time it is, how long of a wait you're expecting to have.
Yeah.
Next email is from Scott Miller, who writes, Hi, my name is Scott, and I'm writing from Chocolatetown, USA, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Woo-hoo! Home of another amusement... We just cheered for chocolate, not you, Scott. Home of another amusement park, Hershey Park. I recently stumbled across your website and podcast and really enjoyed listening to all of your advice and insight about my favorite place in the world, Walt Disney World. I've been to Walt Disney World at least 15 times over the years, the last time being May of 2005. We have traveled to Walt Disney World all different times of the year, but never during a major holiday. My family of 4, me, my wife, 2 daughters, 7 and 5, and I are going for a trip to Walt Disney World over Thanksgiving week this November, staying at Scopa Towers for the second time. And I was wondering if you can answer some questions. We'll be arriving the Sunday before Thanksgiving and departing the Sunday after Thanksgiving. We have a length of stay pass. I was wondering if you had any suggestions as to what parks to do on what days of that week. I would just say look at
look at the crowd calendar.
Crowd calendar on touringplans.com. I'll put a link in the show notes for you, Scott, and just go off that. Can't go wrong with there. Scott also has a question. We have seen the Christmas decorations and the Osborne lights at MGM before, and we're wondering if there will be any other special things going on this time of year while we're there. By Thanksgiving, everything should be operational, right? In terms of everything.
Almost everything's up now, from what I understand, like at the Animal Kingdom in the lodge.
Scott has one last question, and as we're going down via the auto train for the first time for a different experience, I was wondering if you had any tips on the auto train.
Keep your arms and hands inside the vehicle.
You've heard pretty good things about the auto train, haven't you, Lon?
Yeah, actually, a lot of unofficial guide readers are train aficionados, including Bob himself. And I don't think we've heard anything bad about the auto train. It's a little bit slow, but it's not terrible. So I think it'll be fine. But definitely write and let us know how it goes.
Matt Macy writes to us, I know that Disney Dining Plan states that it covers the tip, but what exactly does the server actually get? And should I leave an extra tip for my server?
I guess you can always leave an extra tip. From what I understand, they get 18% of the bill. That's the tip.
Is 18% the new standard now?
18% was always the wished upon standard. You know, I still, when I do it myself, I do 15. But whenever you do, it's always been like parties of 6 or more. You always see at the bottom of the menu. It's been added for you. I think there's.
But is 18% like the new benchmark for sort of typical service?
Typical? I don't know.
Hey, this is a good time to ask this question. When you guys go out and let's say you want to give 18%, do you figure it on the pre-tax or the post-tax number?
I always do the post-tax.
Yes. I never thought of doing it.
Yeah, I never even thought about doing it the other way. That's a good idea, actually.
You're given percentage of the tax. Oh, it's $5 tax. Oh, okay, I'll give you $2 for that or whatever.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Len, we've been giving out too much money over the years.
Yeah, I'm going to start asking for it back.
I was here last year. I believe you owe me 27 cents.
Yes. The tax was $6. I tipped you 18%. If I recall, you owe me $1.04 or $1.08. I'm just going to take that out now. Yeah.
We've got time for
a
question from Australia.
Ooh, g'day.
Mike
Why
Roberts.
does everything look upside down?
Mike Roberts of Melbourne, Australia writes, good day. He actually did write that. Thanks for the podcast. I look forward to it every week. I particularly like the show where you all remembered your first time in the world and the moment you became a Disney fan. With this show in mind, I have another question to put to the team. You see, I'm a big fan of the little things that Disney does to make one's visit just that little bit special. Stories like decorating a hotel room for someone's birthday, the Jungle Cruise skipper letting a honeymoon couple steer the boat, or 2 blind girls getting a tour of Cinderella's castle from Cinderella herself. So after all of that, here's the question. What has Disney done for each of the team or their friends that is above and beyond the normal holiday experience? I've got one while the other guys think about it. When I was there my last time, my friends who I was traveling with got locked out of the room, and they were locked out for an extended period of time, more than they should have been. So they complained, obviously, to management. And the next day when we came back from the parks, they had a Mickey Mouse clock in their bed, and with a note on it says, "This is for all the time that you've lost, and all the other good time that you'll have in the future." So I thought that was really a nice little thing by Disney. Do you guys have any stories?
No, none.
Stories. So I can think of, we were there one year. Was it last year? It was last year. No, it was 2 years ago. And it was on Carol's birthday. We came back. We were at Scopa Towers. And we came back into the room, and there was balloons and an autographed picture from Donald Duck, her favorite character. And I never said anything to anybody about her birthday, so I don't know how that got there, but that was kind of a nice touch.
Great. Well, that's it for us today. If you want to find older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.today.com. You can also email us at questions@www.today.com for For Line Tetsu, Mike Scoba, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hodgeberg. We'll see you on the next show.